Good morning and welcome to Western Spring Television. This is Morning Spring, the first edition of TGIF in the year 2025, and we welcome you from wherever you're watching from. Good morning, Oshobo, good morning, Nigeria, and good morning all over the world, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are, just accept our greeting. And as usual, we are not doing it alone. I am Uzom Sokechuku, and I am in the studio with my colleague. Good morning, Femi.
Good morning. Thank you. How do you do?
I'm okay, and you?
Very well. I'm alive, up and grateful. Femi
Yeah.
Ojo is my name, and I welcome you, great and esteemed viewers, to this program exactly the way Uzums has said it. And we are very ready for you. It's thank God it's Friday. In fact, but then I believe every day is God's day. You know,
Yeah.
and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. So, when
Yes.
you're talking about being glad, the rejoicing is not most of the times because every circumstance is favoring you rejoicing. It's you just being intentional about your
That's
joy
enjoy.
and your
Yeah.
happiness. So that is just it. And 2025 has started already. Today, the third day.
Yeah,
As they
and
say, our time
we
flies.
already have a lot. The president gave his speech on the first, gave his welcome address or New Year
New
address
Year
on the first,
address.
and
Mm,
governors have been giving out theirs, and
mm,
we have from a particular state
mm.
where we've had, the back and forth with the New Year address, of which
Oh,
we're going to be addressing that much later
okay.
during the show, but
Mm,
we don't want to divulge it all out right now. So just stay back
mm.
and listen or watch us so you can
Mm.
get more information on what we're going to be talking about.
they already know that.
Not everyone.
No, what I'm saying is this: people watchers know when it comes to information,
Yeah,
this is where to be.
of
When it
course.
comes to education, this is where to be. When it comes to issues of public importance, having a balanced reportage and conversation, this is where to be on Western Spring Television, where we say it
As it
as
is.
it is. And of course, you can follow us on our social media platforms for you to be part of every programs being churned out here. And of course, these favorite program of yours, Morning Spring, and also on our YouTube channel at Western Spring TV on Star Times channel 190. DTT, that is what it's going to be. So, this is the weekend in edition for the third installment for the year, and it's a packed and edition for you today. We look at headlines regularly, and
Yeah.
then we then get talking about these issues. And so, if we are ready, of course, we are. I'm sure they are ready for us as well. Was it yesterday we were talking about New Year resolution? you know, and
Was it
many
yesterday?
persons are,
Yeah.
yeah, and many persons are already coming out with their New Year resolutions. Some have it written down,
Yes.
some have it pasted somewhere that they can see. Some have it pasted around their living spaces so that you go to the
Yeah.
room, you are seeing it, you go
And
to
when you
your,
achieve it, you take it.
yeah, once you have achieved it, you take it as well. But then it's very important that people set, you know, things you call achievable goals. So, right, it doesn't have to be something that you can do immediately, but you know
Yeah.
that you can, if you work
You
hard.
can work towards it or
Yeah.
work around it. That's why we talked about it yesterday,
Mm,
long term and short term goals.
mm,
So some persons, it depends on what actually you're planning for. If it's
mm.
something that can stretch for 2 to 5 years. So, but at least for baby steps you take, for every step you take, you can take it like, yeah,
Right.
we're getting somewhere.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But for a young person who should be in school,
Okay.
who should be learning, who should be burning the midnight candles
Yeah.
and doing everything you can to have the best result available, to network, to get skills, who has an ambition or a goal or resolution of getting a PJ, private jet, that's I'm not sure that's an achievable resolution, because many persons will
Hmm.
say, uh, I'm not sure that's what that person should be, you
Looking
know,
out for right now.
aiming.
Yeah.
If you want to get a car, maybe that's it might be a far reach, but then some might say you don't know how that person has started. Maybe you can still get something moderate to move around,
Yes.
depending on the level and the kind of hustle that person is. When I mean hustle, legitimate business now,
Of
because
course.
the word hustle has has been has been used for so many on so many fronts,
Yeah.
legal and illegal things.
Illegal
In fact, the moment
things.
you say hustle, Some
People just look
persons
at you
will
like,
just look at you, excuse you,
are you
what are you talking
sure?
about? So let's do what we can to, and but motivational speakers will tell you if your goal is not bigger than you, if it doesn't scare you,
Yeah.
maybe it's not big enough. But then you must find a balance because, okay, if you want to get a private jet, is a goal that is bigger than you, bigger than your community self at that point. But then know what to do, what to go for.
Yeah, because uh, following motivational speakers, I mean, sometimes they say the right things, but other times you could actually imagine like someone who is, like you said, who is a student.
Mm,
Maybe you do not have enough financial support
mm,
system, and you're planning or aiming towards getting a private jet.
mm,
It's not something that is actually feasible right now.
mm.
So, but motivational speakers will say,
It
make
is
big
not that
plans.
it is not that it's not only visible, it's not needed.
It's yeah, it's not
Actually.
needed.
Mm,
Yes, number one, but someone who has a lot of support
mm,
system
mm,
now. If the family is very wealthy and everything,
mm.
the person could get it. That's it.
And
But
use
it's
it
not.
where? That's
Well,
what I'm talking about. Need and
yes,
want.
that's the thing. Some
If the
persons
person
feel like they
wait,
just
if the
want
person
it.
has a lot of money to throw around, yeah, the family is very well to do, and they can even provide that. The
Hmm.
thing is, if you're in school, what you gonna do with a private jet?
Wow,
Where
you've
you
not
gonna put
seen
it?
students that go out with their friends
Mm,
clubbing
mm.
and they want to show, that
They are
show
in
of
school.
power. Of
They are in
course,
school.
they travel
So where do
around.
they fly to?
Really?
Mm.
Oh my goodness, they fly around.
You should
Really?
tell me something that I need to know. And that will not be because that person is a student.
No, that won't be because the
That's
person
exactly what I'm talking
has
about.
good
Possibly a family
financial
supporter
support. That's
can
what I'm
do
saying.
that. But how
So you
many
have
times can such a person be moving around with a private jet
there are
in
some
a week?
students that don't stay in school.
You're still a student who has a private jet before,
Oh yes,
who
I know.
hustled to get a
No, not
private jet.
hustle.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not
That's what
talking
I'm
about
saying. I'm talking
family
about
support.
family. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That if the person has a family support, a strong financial support, the person can actually get it. But then if
Then that
someone,
won't be a resolution.
some people still see it as resolution because you already come from that family where
Mm,
you have everything at your beck and call.
mm,
So you don't see it as a problem.
okay.
So you can just write that in resolution like this year, I want to have this kind of car, I want to have this, and you put it to your parents or put it to your family like, this is what I want.
Right.
And you take it like, that's my resolution, I've gotten what I want. So that's it. It depends on the ideas or the things surrounding people now. So it depends on what you actually have. So like you said, do within your means, make it legal. So those that don't have that ironclad family, just live within your means.
I want to say I agree with you, but I don't agree. But for the purpose of this conversation, if somebody has a very, wealthy family that they can afford to say, okay, I need this, get me this, and they will get you. That one will be, I insist that it won't be a part of resolution. It will just be a son to a father or a son to a mother saying, Dad, I got to move around faster, get me this. So resolution I'm talking about is something that somebody is aiming at getting. You are working not getting. Such a person will not be working to get it. There is a support system. What work? For you to demand is a work. I don't know the kind of people you are seeing, but
Really,
I'm
you
talking
need to
about
be around these people so you
I'm
understand the
talking
way
to
they
Nigerians
work.
that can relate with what I'm saying. The basic point we're making here is make sure it's something achievable.
Yeah.
Not something you can easily pick, yeah, we know, but something achievable and that is needed.
Something that can challenge you.
Because motivational speakers are nice, they are good, but the moment you get to these aspire to perspire to Maguire,
to acquire,
it can be something. But it's okay. We'll go on this quick break. When we come back, the papers are in and we are ready.
And welcome back from that quick break. And yes, the papers are in. We're starting this morning from the Vanguard. And the Vanguard, the top story there says, federal government's deficit spending rises 28% to 12.1 trillion naira. I take that again. Federal government's deficit spending rises 28% to 12.1 trillion naira. And the riders there defies 54% increase in revenue to Federation accounts, overshoots 2024 target by 31%. We have a picture there. P2B visits IBB. We have from left Mr. P2B, presidential candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 general election, and former military President General Ibrahim Babangida during Mr. Obi's visit to General Babangida in Mina, Niger State, yesterday. Also, Budget 2025, how federal government plans to spend 6.743 trillion naira service-wide vote. How federal government plans to spend 6.74 trillion naira, 743 trillion naira service-wide vote. Okay, coming down to Osun State, we have Adeleke violated traditions, customs in appointing Owa Obokun ruling family. Okay, Adeleke violated traditions, customs in appointing Owa Obokun ruling family. Now you want to have more info on that, especially those of us in Oshobo, go to page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Also, two Edo local government chairman impeached, another counters removal. I think this Edo local government talk has been in the news for a while, and it has followed us into a new year. Okay, so we have Joshua's KO of Ngannou rated knockout of 2024. That's for sports. And we have security threats. More still needs to be done. DIC boss, Maj General Undiandeye. Nigeria's Bonny light price hit $78 per barrel in global markets. I have a picture there of Mr. and Mrs. Dear, our annual visit to our village is due next month. My uncles and aunties are looking forward to the goodies that come with it. And we have the response of the man. Your people are behaving like deities. I'm tired of carrying sacrifices to your village. Okay, I'm sure this is related to the festive season and traveling and visitation of different families to their external and extended families. And on the top strip there we have NMPCL invites Obasanjo to inspect Port Harcourt Warri refineries. Obasanjo had an interview yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, and he was speculating that the Port Harcourt refinery wasn't working yet. So NMPCL has come out to respond, to invite him honorably to come and inspect it himself.
And I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. So
instead of the back and forth,
yes, I
think that's a wise one. Whoever has done that with the NMPCL, that person deserves the applause. Instead of unnecessary talking back and forth, and you are speaking very loudly and you are insulting people, the best thing the person can do is to say, we have started. And if you are not sure of what we are doing, please come around and
see for yourself.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so we have New Year, Pandef, Afenifere, INC, YCE, NNPP, others disagree over Tinubu's message. Okay, this same message. Actually, going through the message on the first, basically, he said it's more like his media charges, like we should be patient. He's hopeful that 2025 is going to bring us a lot of things. And we're also being optimistic about this new year. So, well, I don't really know about the disagreement, but let's just give it a benefit of doubt. Now we have the last story there on the Vanguard this morning. Facts, figures betray federal government's performance claims. OB. Facts, figures betray federal government's performance claims, Obi. And the writer there, APC to Obi. You left no significant achievements in Anambra. Okay, I think this is a back-to-back something now.
Yeah, that's expected.
Yeah, so the federal government has responded to Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate of 2023, saying he left no significant achievements in Anambra State. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to say Anambarians can actually attest to that, but we'll leave it at that.
What did you call it?
Anambarians.
Anon.
Anambarians.
Those are the people from where?
Anambra State.
Lord of mercy.
All right, so that's all on the Vanguard this morning.
All right, let's have what the Punch has for us. The Punch newspaper and a range of things. This Anambarian thing that you talked about is quite an interesting one, actually. It's quite an interesting one. Yeah, and so it's good to know. All right, the Punch has this today. Subsidy gains. Labour scores governor's low as allocations rise by 1.7 trillion naira. Labour scores governor's low as allocations rise by 1.7 trillion naira. Of course, you have this rider. NLC slams governors for neglecting agri infrastructure. Opposition turns down Bauchi, Ogun, Bayelsa, and others. All right. And below that, you have these. This is in Ekiti. This is a picture, actually. Ekiti, Akwa Ibom, Lagos, others hold New Year Thanksgiving. All right. And of course, you can see the governor of Ekiti State there with some dignitaries. And beside that, you have in Akwa Ibom, a musician performing, and of course, Governor Umo Eno and other persons were there. So also is in Lagos State with many persons being there as well. And I think possibly the one in Lagos is interdenominational service, New Year, Thanksgiving. Good. It's good to thank God, give praises unto God as well, and of course to believe in the supremacy and the sovereignty of God to give wisdom. Why we as humans, leaders across board, we do what we have to do. That is in part that you don't leave to God. God has given us, every resources needed to administer what is right for ourselves. And as a people now, NNPCL tackles Obasanjo over like $2 billion refineries repair fund. A different angle here, this one. All right. By the end of the day, in spite of the tone of the response of the NNPCL,
Yeah.
the seeming extension of invitation to him is a good one.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing. I know what I'm doing. If you said I'm not doing it, please come along and let the media, cameramen, everybody come and inspect. Let engineers come and inspect so that it's not looking like a window dressing and you see what we are doing here. And that's the best way to shut up any critics. If you ask me, that's the best way.
Of course.
Show results, show workings.
Of course, seeing it, once you see it, it's enough proof.
And you know what they say about seeing? Seeing is believing.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. And Bishop, this one is a very bizarre and sad one. Bishop settling couples fight stabbed to death in auction. Sorry, earlier. And I shivered, I think in Matthew 5, it's that particular chapter is called the Beatitudes. That was when Jesus was, addressing the people on the mountain. Actually, blessed that, the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. This one has ended in death, actually, because it was trying to make peace.
Yeah,
the two fighters are alive.
Yeah, another angle of that story is saying that the man actually stabbed the bishop because of allegations that the bishop was sleeping with the wife.
That's another angle.
Yeah.
But whatever has happened, okay, maybe that's not really a peacemaking thing, but it's been reported here
Yeah,
by the
as
point to say bishop settling couples fight stabbed to death in auction. Now you're saying there is another angle to that. Whatever angle it is, if that somebody is having an a morose relationship with your wife or with your husband, nothing gives you the power
to
to
take
act
someone's
on your
life.
own. Now you know what they say that body go don't calm down, I go don't clear.
Of
You
course.
know, whatever that person is feeling now, the adrenalines are down.
Down.
And now you will know that person you are fighting for, that somebody is having a morose relationship with, might end up being alive, moving on with
Mm-hmm.
life while you are
Free.
behind bars. You have killed somebody. Most likely, the court will give you something very, I don't know how his lawyers might be able to prove his case, but then it's a loss.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really, once
yeah, it's a
life
lose lose
is
situation.
involved, the loss of life is involved, it's
Nobody gives
something
you that
else.
power to do that, especially except you are doing it on self-defense,
Yeah,
actually. But his
exactly.
lawyers will have a way with that, so we don't hold brief for him. But one thing that you can't wish away here, somebody has died, a life that you cannot retrieve. Now, telcos propose 100% tariff hike await NCC note. We
Hmm.
said his earlier.
Oh my.
Telcos await 100% tariff hike. So what does that mean?
100%.
It means whatever quality you have it for 100 naira, it will be sold at 200 naira. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Text messages of 4 naira will now be 8
It's
naira.
an
If you are buying a data of gig for a particular amount, say 500 naira, it will now be 1,000. So that's what they have said. And many of them have said if that they have a reason to do that because of the prevailing economic circumstance that are, and they have not really, increased their tariff for a very long
long
time.
time. Yeah.
Even when other sectors of the
Actually, it's
economy,
true.
have moved on. That's what they are saying. But they are saying if the NCC will not allow them, then there will be service disruptions. People should expect that they won't be able to keep up. So your calls might be hanging, your data service and
Oh,
internet service might not be the way it is. And some will say, are you blackmailing us into agreeing? Because when you know that Nigerians are heavily, humans are heavily, we are interconnected right now.
yeah.
And things that you ordinarily go to park to say, I want to go and check my daughter, I want to go
Just
and
stay at home.
you don't have to do that again because you can make video calls.
Yeah.
Except it's highly necessary. That's when you go there. Now, when those services are being disrupted, what choice does the people have? And the NCC as well, I think last 2 weeks said to these guys, show us a study that shows that really you must. And
And like,
it's the only person that will suffer in all of this is ordinary
yes,
Nigerians,
and the
actually. Ordinary
civilians. But
Nigerians.
actually, looking at it from another angle,
Mm,
I wouldn't say they're blackmailing us because as far back as I can remember, when I
mm,
started using a phone
mm,
and a SIM, I've always used text messages have always been 4 naira.
mm,
So it's more like they've been stable. They've been like the only sector that's been stable.
mm,
See food prices,
mm,
how high. Some of them are even 200% increment. Some are 300%. So
You think it's justified, right?
yeah, it
Okay.
is.
But what I would rather say is the regulators should not play with us, actually. I'm not even talking about the telcos now because they are
Yeah,
saying, show us study. This thing is something you can do in 2 days.
of course.
Call for a meeting, let there be workings and give an arrangement. And if there are supposed to be stakeholders consultation, all of those things can be arranged in a week. Because our time is not just
Sort
about
it
the
out.
NCC and the telcos alone. Let there be stakeholders engagement across board. In 2 weeks, you've wrapped up and then you have an agreement. But it's just like those ones are making, they are ranting, so we are inventing, and the regulators are doing like this, and Nigerians don't even know what to
What to
do
do
in
anymore?
all of this. That's what I'm saying.
That is when two elephants are fighting, the grass suffers.
I don't know. Nigerians don't want to be grass again. I think we are tired with that analogy. Yeah. Here, no government, let me say that again. No governor can take insult I received from Wiki scam. Cobra.
Okay.
Interesting one. And we will look into this in the course of the program. Education tax. Federal government has to plan talks over removal. Okay. And then PCL states DFA has not eased all exploration remains in limbo. And APC kicks as Obi wants Tinubu against foreign medical trips. Politics is here. The man was very categorical to say, explore made in Nigerian services and products, even your health. Stay here in Nigeria, show workings, and off of going to France and all of those countries. Would that
Yeah,
be a
it's also
backward, actually? Is
it,
it backward for your president to be advised to stay within the country? Whatever you are needing, show example, show it through
well,
leadership.
somehow it's going to boost the faith of the Nigerians
Mm-hmm.
in the sectors
Mm-hmm.
because if you say our health sector is good, the educational sector is good, then we should be using it
Yeah, exactly.
so that we'll be convinced that okay,
And other
yeah,
Nigerians can stay
yes,
as well. If my president can go to a general hospital for
exactly.
treatment, why can't I go
Why?
there? And possibly, not just possibly, surely it will force them, when I mean them, leaders across board, to invest
Yeah,
in such infrastructure, health infrastructure, because you are going to use it. And so if that investment is done, the president will use it. There's somebody somewhere from any walks of life will use the same thing, and then it will force them again to invest in personnel that we
yeah,
manage. Because you know you need the best of doctors to stay, you will give them what is necessary, the best of nurses, the best of health care, officers that need to run those hospitals. And I think it will work better. But politics doesn't work that way. Sometimes I hear there are persons that make some explanations to say when it turns to health, it's about trust. That this person
exactly.
has, a track record of people that attends to him, and he has been using them before he came into power. So maybe it is not easy for him to just break away from that. And I just will say he is now a public property.
Yes, he's now the first
Yeah,
person of the
he's the
country.
first person that should market the best of Nigeria. So he should use it. You can't be telling investors to come and invest especially,
here.
let's even say, big hospitals around the world to say, come here, we have fertile ground for you. And at the end of the day, they will come here, and you, the marketer, will not
will
be able to
fly.
stay and use the same thing. But just like I said, politics is always an interesting thing. That'll be all from the Punch for today.
Okay, and on The Guardian this morning, you have 2025. Nigerians long for rewards of economic reforms. And there's a picture there with our president on an elephant. And we have behind him 2024. We have tax reforms, we have inflation. And then before him, we have him with he says, endure, I see light ahead, as in 2025. So, and then we have Obasanjo, NNPC, differ on return of Warri Port Harcourt refineries. So, account for Oyo local government funds since 2019, APC tells Makinde. And 2027, opposition plotting new party to defeat Tinubu, says Lukman. Okay, I think we talked about this yesterday. Voting for a new party. Like you said, either they're going to merge or crumble or whatever they're going to do. They're going to crumble some parties into one and bring out one.
Subsume other parties into one, yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And we have another picture there of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, right? And then we have chairman of conference of 57 local governments / local government councils in Lagos State, Honorable Kolado Alabi, and Secretary of Conference 57, Razak Ajala, during a visit to President Tinubu in his Lagos residence. Now, Niger Delta stakeholders, right, Tinubu, insists oil blocks allocation illegal. Niger Delta stakeholders, right, Tinubu, insist oil blocks allocation illegal. And we have telcos seek 100% tariff hike amid pushbacks. Nigerians, get ready. Federal government rolls out initiatives, targets food security. So, rolls out initiative, targets food security. Food security, like more production or to safeguard our food, or but honestly, we really need it.
It's all of those.
We
Actually,
really need it.
More food production, investment into agro-allied products, fertilizers, incentives on tractors, and all of these. And very importantly, securing people who does this farming.
Yeah, like from the president's speech, he said at least petrol price reduced and
Mm.
some other things. So we saw a significant rise in the naira. Naira's a bit strengthened a bit,
Mm.
but we had issues with food.
Mm-hmm.
That the cost of food, the buying food was still expensive in the
Mm.
festive season,
Mm.
and he said he was working towards that and medicals too.
Mm.
So maybe that's where the story comes in.
Mm.
So it will actually be a good one because even like you said the other day, when things rise in Nigeria, it's very difficult for you to go down.
Mhm.
More like impossible. It's always very
Most
difficult.
times.
So we look forward to this, and it's actually going to be a good one.
Right.
And that is all for the Guardian this morning.
All right, from the Guardian to the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune for today has an NPCL invites Obasanjo on a tour as he raises issues over refineries. With Riders Corporation insist full-scale overhaul of refineries done to meet world-class standard. Says company now profit-oriented global energy leader. Denies cutting crude supply to Dangote refinery. An ex-president says NNPC squandered $2 billion on refineries, restate why Shell refused to run them. You know, Obasanjo, for who is very vocal and categorical in whatever he believes in. Excuse
Right.
me, an estranged, thank you, estranged husband sets wife's apartment ablaze in Edo on New Year's Day. Hmm. Is that extreme anger or by mistake or but it's good that it's just I think it's fair, not that good. It's fair that it's only the apartment. Very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
At least no life was lost.
let's just let's chill. Take a chill. Everybody, just relax because some of these are horrendous things that people do. But the thing is, as they say on the streets, life go want you. Now you
But
know
no
go
fear.
no panic. That's just the thing. And it will come in many forms.
Yeah.
These ones life is different from this other person's own and all of those things. But the way you react at times, when you go overboard, it
Yeah.
ends in regret. Nobody that will have, possibly pain inflicted on them that they will not react. But can you please slow down so that at the end of the day, you will not become, instead of being the victim now, you now become the criminal
Yeah.
because of your reaction. Now, two Edo local government chairmen impeached. The game is the game in Edo State. First, some of them were suspended. Now, two of them are impeached.
Impeached.
All right. Maybe if it's by impeachment, that one, if it follows the law, the councillors can always impeach their own
Yeah.
chairman, but not that the state executive, through one shoddy arrangement, will suspend. But we wait to see what happens next. And Niger Delta stakeholders right to know one of looming crises over oil blocks licensing. And northern groups laud federal government's effort in tackling insecurity in the region. Ondo governor set to amend chieftaincy declaration of traditional titles. And Tinubu's renewed hope agenda will make Nigeria great again. Conference 57 chairman Alabi, and you can see the picture of the man, his secretary there, who had a visit at the president. All right, and top strip, federal government unveils key changes in withholding tax regulations. Oyedele again. Federal government unveils key changes in withholding tax regulations. That's from Oyedele, the tax man. And here, Nigeria's situation worsening daily. Obi, Nigeria's situation worsening daily. Obi, and with riders once caught in frivolous spending, seeks increased education funding, security, health, poverty alleviation. And I think these will be the yearning of any ordinary Nigerian. They
Yeah.
want their leaders to stop frivolous spending,
Of course.
especially things that can wait. Are there things that can wait? Are there things that we need now? Like it's very compulsory. I think we should be spending on things that are compulsory. Sometimes even things that are necessary, if they can wait, can they please wait? If the only thing we should spending money on is the kind of things that if you don't get, it
Yeah,
will
it's gonna
derail
affect.
things. It will
Yeah.
affect negatively, not things that can wait or things that has alternative. And I think these are, and so he's saying the government should fund education more, security, health, poverty. I think these are ordinary yearnings. But the messenger is important, and there will always be back and forth from the people in power. It's
Yeah.
like that. Now, P2B is modern day doomsayer, APC.
Okay.
You're doomsayer. You always saying and not saying, you always say bad things, and you are never saying good things. It's politics.
That's a
From
new
either
tag.
part of the divide, it's the politics.
That's a new tag.
All right. Says Tinubu's economic policies working. Says Tinubu's policies, economic policies working. All right. And I chance will be the judge of that as well. That'll be all from the Nigerian Tribune, and of course, all on this segment for today. When we return, take a break now. When we return, we speak to issues in the nation, especially one of the states, and follow the development there as it has to do with that state, that region, and of course this nation. Stay with us.